2026 Sydney Adler Homes and Farms Realtor Big Orange Brawl presented by Knoxville Title Agency. This is team finale Babylon presented by Samantha Knight MIG. This is your flow and standards for your final event. This workout will begin with all 4 teammates on the start and finish mat. At the call of 3, 2, 1, go, they will move to the worm to complete their first 25-foot section worm lunge. This section of worm lunges will be based off of the front athlete. They will complete their worm lunges down to their green piece of tape. We're looking for the feet of the first athlete to be over that line. At the completion of the worm lunges, the females will begin their couplet of synchro toes to bar and deadlifts. This will be a 45-pound bar for the men and women. The men's weight will be out in their lane at any point during the completion of the women or before the men go. They can change that weight out however they would like to. Clips must be on the bar. The females can switch in and out as many times as they would like on those deadlifts. They just need to complete 30 as a pair. When they complete 30 as a pair, they will move back to the worm, where the team will complete 2 25-foot worm lunges down, all the way down to where the worm began. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and back. When they complete their 50-foot worm lunge, the men will do their synchronized toes to bar. Again, they must have that deadlift weight on the bar. Either it will be already on there or they will need to add it on. After their synchro toes to bar, they will move to the deadlifts. Again, 30 can be split however. They can switch in and out however they would like to on this. At 30, they will move back to the worm. And the teams will complete a final length worm lunge. Go. After the completion of the final lunge, they will drop the worm and move to the finish mat. Time is when all 4 team members are on that finish mat. Let's talk through movement standards. First, the worm lunge. We kind of talked about this already. Green piece of tape is what you'll be looking for. The athlete in the front of the worm.
Ready. 1, 2, 3, go.
Feet will need to start behind the line, clearly.
Right foot. Ready.
Then they will complete their worm lunge. We're looking for 4 knees to be on the ground. Athletes not pushing off their leg. Pushing off their leg will result in a no rep. A no rep at any part of the worm lunge will require the team to have to move back to the previous line. So if a no rep occurs, the team will have to clean the worm up. This is good to show. This is good to show.
Right hand under. Ready. 1, 2, 3, go.
Teams will have to move back to the previous line. And then they may begin their worm lunge to completion.
Ready, go. 1 more. Drop.
Good. Synchronized toes to bar. Judges will be looking for 2 sets of toes hitting the bar at the same time. No reps would include 1 pair touching before the other. Good. Toes must cross the plane of the bar. This is a standard toes to bar. Synchro is going to be feet hitting the bar together at the top. Synchronized knee raises will be performed with both athletes raising their knees above the hip crease at the top. No reps would include not raising the knees above the hip crease or not having them above the hip crease at the same time. Rep is credited once 2 sets of knees are above the hip crease together at the same time. Deadlift. Barbell will begin on the ground. Athlete must stand up to full hip and knee extension at the top. No reps would include not standing up all the way and extending the hips at the top, dropping it before they've stood up all the way, making sure they are not bouncing the bar off the ground and bending the arms too much. The athlete may not wear grips for this as well, so hands must be on that barbell. Again, full extension at the top of the rep. Scaled will have a tethered worm lunge. Same standards apply as the worm lunge, it's just the athletes will be holding a rope tether instead of holding the worm. Again, judges will be looking for a knee to the ground, and for it to be based on that front athlete, who on the way back will be the back athlete. That is the athlete who we will be basing the distance on. So the worm will travel the same, the tether will travel the same distance on those length lunges. Teams, this is your whiteboard brief for your final event, Babylon, presented by Samantha Knight MIG. It's going to begin with that 25-foot worm lunge. Again, front athlete, who is also going to be in the back on the way back on that worm lunge. We're looking for both feet to start and finish behind that green line. The women will complete the 30 synchronized toe to bar and 30 deadlifts, 225 on that 45-pound bar. Again, at some point before the men deadlift, you will need to change that weight. Athletes are responsible for changing the weight on the bar. After the deadlifts, they will do a 50-foot worm lunge. That will be a down and back, and then the men will complete their 30 synchronized toes to bar, 30 deadlift split, however, and this workout will finish with your final length worm lunge. There's a 9-minute time cap. Intermediate division, 20 synchronized toes to bar, 275, 185 on the deadlifts. Scale division, you'll have that tethered worm lunge, 30 synchronized knee raises, and a 225, 135 barbell. Good luck, teams, on your finale.